We are live.
Yes, we are, and at different places today. Hello,
Yes, we are
everybody.
separate, and I'm missing you, but it's okay.
I
It's
know,
okay.
missing you too. But you got stuff tonight, and I had to come home and take care of the dog. But Body and Soul's got some fun stuff later, don't they?
Yes, it is community night here, and I'm so excited because I'm building a fire out back. We're gonna roast marshmallows and make s'mores, and some of this comes from where did I go?
I don't know. What did I do?
You did. Oh, you bumped
I did
something.
it.
Watch your fingers over there.
I'm sorry.
Watch your fingers over there.
Yeah, fresh fingers. I'm trying to make them bigger.
I'll make you disappear, okay?
Hey, I'm going to start off with a limiting belief. I am bad at technology.
I'm going to change that one by the end of the show today.
Yeah.
But so anyway, my spirit guides frequently, the message that I receive is that I should have more fun. Like sometimes I'm a little bit too serious. And so to me, like s'mores just feel like fun. They like remind me of my childhood. Just good things. So I'm really excited to do this, excited to see who shows up tonight to be part of community. And I said, even if nobody shows up, I'm still lighting that fire and I'm roasting those marshmallows because I want
sure. To. You build the fire, you got to enjoy it.
Yes,
give everybody my love.
Yes, I will. So as we were talking off camera, because I can't like look anywhere without seeing everybody talking about the Super Bowl halftime show.
Absolutely.
And Bad Bunny. And I'm
Bad Bunny. Bunny, Bad Bunny. Is he bad or is he a bunny? I don't know.
I don't know. Because honestly, up until a few days ago, I had never heard of Bad Bunny. I don't know. I've never listened to his music. I don't know anything. But the one thing I do know is that this is so ridiculous. The amount of time that people are spending investing in, pre-show, there was all of this. I can't believe they're doing that. This is wrong. This is un-American. And I'm like,
yep.
Last I checked, Puerto Rico was part of the United States, and Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. So he is a U.S. citizen performing at the Super Bowl.
Yes, ma'am.
But I am very frustrated by like how much importance people are getting. It's a halftime show. It's entertainment, people. Like, don't you have better things to do with your time than argue over, was this a good show? Was this a bad show? And it doesn't matter who they put on that stage. Not everybody's going to be happy. Not everybody is going to like this person.
You cannot please 100% of the people 100% of the time. That is the truth.
Or maybe that's a limiting belief, but we'll talk about that. But, and then there's all the people, then they had a separate show on a different channel with Kid Rock for the people that were, and I'm like, and Kid Rock's any better? I don't, anyway. But,
we're just old. So that was our bottom line.
But, so then there's all these reasons why it was a fantastic show, why it was a horrible show. And then, there's all this stuff that, it was all about peace, love, and unity. I'm thinking of my Dorice over there and her unity. And, someone even got married, in the show. And, then there was, talking, he mentioned all of the nations of the Americas. And, that's, what was he? Oh, and the only thing more powerful than hate is love. And, so there were all these great, beautiful messages. And then, as I was telling you offline, I have not done my personal investigation, but then I'm hearing about what the lyrics that he was singing were about, which wasn't so much about peace, love, and harmony and unity. So I don't know. But the one thing I do know is I also feel like we've wasted too much time talking about this right now. But I just want to put the message out there. Like, really, people, like, if you're going to invest all this energy, like, invest it into something far more important.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, in my newsletter that went out today, too, I was like, this is just a distraction, you know, like, let's get them all occupied about this unimportant, ridiculous stuff so they don't notice when we're over here, like, making chess moves that really matter and are going to impact them, but they're not even going to notice because they're still arguing about Bad Bunny and his performance at the Super Bowl.
No. Well, since you put it that way, this is very true.
So, but before we move on, I have to share.
Oh, yes.
This arrived in the mail today.
Look at that.
And mushrooms, and I don't know if you can even see. I got to get the little dragonfly right there.
Oh,
and I can't tilt it too much yet because my mug's still very full since we just started the show. But there was an owl on the bottom of the mug. But I don't remember if it was her last episode or a few episodes in. Miss Graciela like shows up with this mug, and I was like, "That is the most amazing mug. You know, that's not your mug, that's my mug." And she was like, "You know, this is a one of a kind, and good luck ever finding one." And a few days ago, I come home from the office, and there's a box in front of my door, and I open it up, and here was this beautiful mug.
That's so beautiful.
Shout out to Graciela. She found a second one just for me. I'm so happy and excited to have this mug. And cacao tastes better in it.
Yes, because it's love all the way from the Carolinas. It's love.
Yes.
By Graciela. That's wonderful. She'll be back. I know it.
At least we got to have her on sometime as like a future guest or something. So
yes. Got to share the screen time.
Yes. So I love our topic for today. And as always, I think I'm going to like shake things up a little bit by some of the things I'm going to say, and it's all good. But
let's do it.
You know, so the topic is all beliefs are limiting. And anytime like we're going through and doing this healing work on ourselves and working on growing and evolving, you know, one of those things that people have us do and work on are limiting beliefs. And I do it all the time myself, you know, like you got to recognize them, acknowledge them, and switch them out for something better. And, you know, but one day I was in the middle of all of that, and my spirit guides like chime in, and they're like, you know, you do realize all beliefs are limiting. And so, you know, I sat with that for a little bit because, of course, like, you know, they're at some point you're like going to argue, like, no, like there are at somewhere there's this ideal, perfect belief system that I'm going to operate from. And then when I sat with it, like I realized, like, they're right. All beliefs are limiting.
I tried hard to come up with a belief that wasn't limiting today, just because, right? I tested myself. I went down the list, and it's funny because you went to what we do to make sure that that belief doesn't become limiting is check yourself. So you're already getting into the practice of how to not make this a belief that is limiting, because that's the topic, right? I mean, I went from bad beliefs about myself, right? The I'm not enough, or I'm bad at technology. I'm just a teacher. I'm just a therapist. What could I do? What do I know? But this evolved though, right? So then I did replace it with those spiritual beliefs, and I am so much more, or I am not a Catholic anymore. I'm an evolved Catholic. No, that doesn't quite fit. I'm a spiritualist. I don't know. Am I? Does that quite fit? So I did do the progression like you're talking about. And I really worked at it, but I won't say much more about that until we get further in. Stop. But this was a hard one.
Yeah, no, and I will say, like, yes, we operate from a belief system.
Mm-hmm.
I think hoping to get to that space of an absence of beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I'm not that far evolved yet, making my way there. But, it's definitely a good practice to observe your belief systems about yourself.
Yeah.
Check in with, what are these beliefs that I'm operating from? What stories am I telling myself that are holding me back? And shifting those to something that supports what you want to become.
That is your medicine, I was just going to say, because it is. When I think of you and something, because you call me like the unity person, but you definitely, this is you. You always are reaching for that person in front of you, no matter if you're having a conversation or they're on your table. I know it because I've been on your table, thankfully. But you really do hone in on what's the limiting belief that they're just so grounded in that they can't let go of. It defines them. And then there's no room for growth. There's no room for expansion. There's no room for healing. Where does this settle into the body? And I know we'll get there eventually. But this is definitely your topic, because you've broken me out of a few.
Yay!
Thank you, Julietta. Thank you, Julietta. Even this broke me out. I can't do podcasting. What do you think? What?
Look at me changing that belief system there. But even for myself, like, I had to break through things. We have some love here.
Hi, love.
I joined a little late, you lovely. I love you, ladies. We love you too. We love all of our listeners.
Thank you.
To get where I am, there have been so many beliefs that I had to crash through. And even, the whole thing of how the podcast started, like, I had a limiting belief that I don't know how to do a podcast. And where are we? I think this is episode like 304 or something like that. So
amazing.
For not knowing how to do it, I guess I'm doing all right here.
I would think so. Yes. Wow.
And because, yes, you mentioned earlier too, like those beliefs, we think our beliefs are up in our head, but they are in this meat sack that we're carrying around in the world. And those beliefs impact that as well.
Yes.
I think that's going to bring me to say some things right now that, are probably going to annoy people.
Oh, I can't wait. Juicy stuff. Let's go.
You see, I'm taking a breath before I say this because, like, I don't know. Some people might listen to this and it might start like the whole slew of hate mail. But all of this is made up from our belief systems. This computer is made up on our belief systems. This mug I'm holding was created out of belief systems. And so where this really hits home, since you and I have been connected to the Western medicine field through physical therapy, this is like bringing up some old wounds, because I'm sure, well, I don't know, maybe there's new stuff out there, but when I was, in the final decade of my career, it was all evidence-based medicine.
Evidence-based practice, right? I got to teach that stuff. Evidence-based practices.
That evidence is all just based on somebody's belief. And like research has even shown that like the outcome of any research is impacted by the beliefs of the people doing the research. so our beliefs skew everything. So all of this stuff, and then our beliefs about that stuff limit the possibility of something better than. So it takes brave people out there to break through these belief systems to come to some other kind of truth. You know, and like I always said, I would get kicked out of Facebook groups for pushing people on these, you know, when they were so stuck in that evidence-based medicine protocol. Yes. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but for me, what I observe and witness on a daily basis is evidence enough for me.
It is. And I witnessed it. Since you're talking about those days when we practiced together and we, you know, you did always break out of the box because you weren't going to let Western medicine dictate how you treated. And I always appreciated that. There was not this flow chart, check the boxes of what to do, the exercises and whatnot, or modalities that fit the best diagnosis and would treat the best. You thought outside the box and you welcomed a lot of different views, including Eastern medicine, including acupuncture, including a lot of things. So, and you
also belief systems.
All beliefs. Exactly. All beliefs.
So far more important than what the practitioner does with their client is does the client believe that you can help them? And I would say, if you believe I can help you, I probably will. If you don't believe I can help you, I probably won't. Okay, but I'm going to like push this really hard right now.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's go for it.
So, and I didn't write it down on the calendar, so I don't remember exactly, but this was probably like 7 or 8 years ago. I started having these experiences where I stopped breathing. And not like in a stressful kind of way. So the first time it happened, I was in a course for advanced practitioners, and I'm laying on the table and with my eyes closed, and the person was doing, I'll just say energy work for lack of, you know, wanting to explain it any deeper than that. But I'm laying there and all of a sudden I had this awareness. I was like, oh, I'm not breathing. And I had zero stress about it. Like I was completely just peaceful, calm. And I'm like, this is really interesting. I'm not breathing. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm dead. Maybe I don't, you know, maybe I'm not alive anymore. That's pretty cool. But I'm not really sure if that's what's going on. But I'm just aware that I'm not breathing and I'm okay with it. I was completely okay with not breathing. I'm just laying there, and I have no idea how much time went by because, you know, my eyes are closed. I don't have a clock to be looking at. I'm sure if there was a clock for me to be looking at, I would have been stressing out about it. But it felt like an infinite amount of time had gone by. I don't know how much time had gone by, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just went, and the first thought in my head was, oh crap, I'm still alive. And then I opened my eyes and like everybody in the classroom is all standing over me, like all with this look of relief over their face, because obviously I had not been breathing long enough that they're all standing there watching, like, what's going on here? Like, we need to do CPR. Like, so they were all very relieved that I took a breath. But
glad I wasn't there. Give me a heart attack too.
But it was just a beautiful, peaceful space. And since then, it has happened to me more than once. That I'm just laying. It's happened to me in yoga class. It's happened to me during meditation. Just laying there. It's like, oh, I'm not breathing again. Interesting. So, of course, you know, I've got my spirit guides, and I'm like, tell me about this. Like, what is this happening that I'm not breathing? And their answer to me was like, humans don't actually need to breathe. This whole story that you need oxygen is a belief system. You don't, you know, someone was like, why do we breathe? Like, let me figure this out. And they're like, had this idea, like, oh, it's because they need this chemical out of the air. And like, none of it's true. You just believe it's true. And so that's the system that you operate from. but they were like, just like there's, the breatharians, the
I was
yogis.
just going to say that they're screwed if oxygen is in it. That's all they have.
No, but the thing is, they said you don't need to eat, you don't need to drink. I mean, even my own mother showed me that those laws are not true, because how long can you go without water? 4 days? Is that what research says? And how long? I think it's longer for food, and I don't know how long, but she lived for like a month without water.
Oh.
All of her systems were shutting down, and she wasn't eating or drinking. She was only breathing. But she lived like a month for like that. And science says that's not possible, but she did it. So what is that? But my guides were saying, the people that are the breatharians, they could elevate to the next level where they realize you don't actually need to breathe. You don't need that thing called oxygen, because it's just made up. It's not real. So if you can get to that level of releasing beliefs, then you don't need it. So
that would
someone wants to work on out there. Let me know how that goes.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
I know it's a big one. But, I've had this little taste of it, and you look at these, like the free divers that are, underwater for how long, and,
the laws.
They go as far as their belief system allows them to go.
That's true. That's how people defy the laws. That's how we break free and break the chains, as we're talking about.
It's by changing our beliefs. Absolutely.
Yes.
And so we'll move topic there a little, move on from that stuff. But you talked about spiritual beliefs, and because I think a lot of times when we're talking about beliefs, that's where people's mind instantly goes. What do you believe in? Do you believe in God? Do you believe, and
it's a big one. I think it's ever changing though for me. I mean, I think the real thing here is to question the belief that you're holding on so tightly to. So if you believe you are an atheist, or if you believe you only believe in Jesus is the way, or you believe, in whatever belief system you were brought up in, does it still serve you? Does it still fit who you are, that you think you are? Because I think every time we break through and question it, we get to evolve and expand. I mean, isn't that what we're doing here? Is talking about the limiting belief and how, we need to break free from it, because why are we going to live with all these limitations? Why?
Exactly.
I don't want to. So every time I say I am something, I check in. And I check in, and I know you're going to agree with me, I check in with my body. You check in with your body, right? Because my thoughts come through, but thoughts come through so rampantly. Quickly, incessantly. It's but then you have to really kind of sit with it and let it settle in, let your nervous system take hold. And if it feels good, if it feels right, that's my sensory system telling me, yes, it suits me, it serves me, it fits me, or no, I really don't feel this. I don't feel I feel uncomfortable about this. This is not a good fit for me. And I think it's really hard when somebody, just like you and I are having a conversation, you're in the same room, or you're, a couple of feet apart, and you have different opinions and different views, whether it's about Bad Bunny or not, I don't know. But, you have all these different views in front of you, and you're trying to see which one fits you. Opinions make beliefs. So every time you have an opinion about something, or another person has an opinion about something, aren't you checking in with yourself to see if it sits well with you? And then, What'd you say again?
I said, I hope you are. I hope you're checking in, and not, but you look at how many people just accept a belief system because that's what their family believes. That's what their friends believe. Like, they don't even take the moment to pause and check in. Like, just because someone else believes that, do I have to believe that?
Right. Right.
And you also mentioned the I am, and everything is a work in progress. I am not perfect at this, but I have really, over the years, gotten very careful about what words I put after I am.
Uh-huh.
And even, I've had discussions with this about some people. I don't usually say I am Julietta. I often usually say my name is Julietta.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, but I like who I am. I like, but that name isn't just you. That name carries frequency and vibration that, while yes, it may be positive, there are limitations to that as well. And so and it's not, that name Julietta, there's not just my beliefs about who that is, but there's all those other beliefs, who other people believe Julietta is. And all of those things are connected to that name.
Right.
And so I don't know that I want to claim that I am that, because I'm not. I'm so much more than that.
Exactly. So, I am more than any story I tell myself. I am more. So that's the catch-all phrase when you say I am more. I don't know. I feel like that's something I stick in my head.
Yeah. And there's still limitation in I am more.
I am, right.
Because the truth is just I am.
Well, the truth is
I am.
And so this was my, the words I was
saying. Am I not?
Well, here was my sentence. I was saving it to the end, but I'm not going to now. If I am one with all that is, then I have the possibility to be all that is. I know.
And there's a lot of shit out there that I don't want to be.
But the possibility is there.
Well, and I think living in the space of curiosity and wonder, rather than living in a space of certainty, like, everybody wants to be right, and it's impossible for everybody to be right.
No.
And everybody is right, and everybody's wrong. And even this conversation that we're having, I am completely open to being wrong about all of this. But from where I sit right now, I'm like, years ago, if you had told me that all beliefs are limiting, I don't think I could have wrapped my head around that. I would have been like, but you have to have beliefs, and there's but just always living in the space of possibility. This is what resonates with me today, and something different might resonate with me tomorrow.
Yes.
But I think the importance is being aware, being present, just being, and being the source of love. Like, look at everything through the lens of love, and that will guide you to the beliefs that you need right now to carry you through this moment.
I love that. I love love. I think that's a good point. That's a good point. Because, and for those listening, I mean, are you willing to question these beliefs that you hold on to? Because I know we all have them. And I did it today as we were preparing for this talk, and that's what I would want to leave the audience and the listener with. Are you willing? What are you willing to even let go of? Like, not hold on so tightly to? What are the beliefs that you are holding on to? And what is it going to feel like if they disappeared? Who could you possibly become or feel like becoming? I mean, because it is a door opener. Isn't that what we're trying to do here? Is open the door to the possibilities that when you shed your belief system, you can step into something else, something new, something more expansive. There is so much, not only in this 3D in this world, but for us to explore. And when we do, give it just one little curious look or feel, I think that's where the start of something phenomenal is,
Yeah. And just huge, just starting, because so many people have not even examined the idea of beliefs and that they are operating from belief systems. And so just taking that moment to, what are my beliefs? Because our beliefs are creating the life that we're experiencing. And so you don't like what you're experiencing, probably you need to change your beliefs. How can you change your beliefs if you don't even know what they are? And I think, and it's not just looking at the beliefs and recognizing what you believe in, but then even asking, why do I believe that?
Right.
Why do I believe
it? Exactly.
Are you
willing to question it?
And then, do I want to keep this, or what do I want instead?
That's it. That's
homework, people. Homework.
Homework. I love it. I love it. And I think
you're the teacher.
Yeah, love homework. I love something that you can really sink your teeth into and feel and figure it out.
Well, and that's the thing too. And I think we see this so much in, the self-help, the spiritual, the growth platforms. Like people will show up and listen to every conversation. They will read every book. They will watch every program. But then do they actually stop and take the time to incorporate that? Do something with it, because just because you read it, just because you heard it, just because you saw it, that's not enough.
No, it's not. Because if you don't put it into practice, you're just a passerby. You're just you're going through life passively, and maybe you're noticing things.
To your beliefs.
Exactly. But I think, I think it's a good conversation for people to have that starter curiosity, because if we can, you can. Anybody can. And I guess I know we're almost done, but I want to say we have to move into why we believe that this is such a good conversation. Why do we believe that? It's because we question our own beliefs, and we evolve and move through, and we question each other's. And when I speak to Julietta, Julietta speaks to me, and then we have an opinion, maybe that's the same, we're different, we question ourselves. And it has brought us to bigger, better, more expansive, more love, more joy, more everything you want, or I want out of life. And I think a lot of us do want that. But the limiting belief hasn't served me not one bit. And the second I call myself on it, I can change and transform and start to become something different and more. It's limitless.
Yeah. It's taking your power back.
It is. Which was it last week's or the week before that conversation?
They all,
intertwine.
They all come together. They all intertwine and intermingle. And yes,
they do. They do. But
all right.
Good stuff to think about here. Right?
Yes. All right.
Want to say?
I believe I'm done talking about beliefs.
All right.
And because I believe it, it is so.
Just when you think it's so.
You got any other nuggets you want to drop for our audience before we move on here?
No clinging to what's true for you all the time. Open up, think about it, give a little wiggle room to see if there's anything that you can let go of and be fluid about. Because the more we flow through this life together, the easier it will be. And I surely want ease and peace.
Yeah. So if this conversation made you aware of any kind of belief that you were holding on to that was limiting you, or even like what I would really love is like if someone has a belief that they thought was empowering them, but now after having this conversation, did they maybe recognize like, no, that belief is actually holding me back? I would love to hear about that. So put it in the comments, send me a message. I don't know, but I do this work all day, every day, supporting people in this journey. And it's just so fun to hear people's stories, their aha moments. And so please share.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you. All right.
All right. I think we're going to call this a wrap and wishing you all a magical day.
Ciao for now.